right, peace, greetings, everyone. All right. I got some stuff to talk about dealing with this 9/11 since September 11th, and I'm watching the news and I'm seeing everything that's going on. So I decided to come on and just kind of get a basic understanding of what's going on and maybe kind of exchange some information or as we teach, we always learn. So this is going to be on Serious Minds YouTube channel. So what I need y'all going to do is definitely hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notifications, and definitely I need y'all to subscribe. All right, as you already know, I got an app coming out. It's launching at the Locks Conference on the 7th of October. You can get notifications, and as you already know, I got an app coming. I'm getting feedback. It's launching. Mute that. All right, cool. All right, so rather than going to IG, which I can't even get it pulled up on my phone, I'm going directly to Facebook Live as an audience and right to YouTube. All right. Of course, the YouTube link will have all of the images when we actually produce the show. It's not getting produced now. This is actually live. All right. So what I'm going to do is just kind of give you a different perspective on how to view this whole 9/11, this unholy war on terrorism. And I'm going to break down a few things just from a different perspective to see whether or not if you have drawn up your own conclusions since it's been some time, 17 years or so, 18 years? Yeah, over 17 years, I believe. All right. So we're going to dive into a few things and then we're going to discuss some other things. All right. 1 second. I'm waiting for some other people to come on here. All right. So this talk is going to be this talk is entitled 9/11, the unholy war on terrorism. As you already know, Public Enemy, we had a song called 9/11 is a joke. So 9/11 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism. So people are already asking me, why would you call it an unholy war on terrorism? Simply because Bush and the other alphabet boys have entitled it a holy war on terrorism because they're waging a holy war on those people that they have deemed to be those Muslims that actually waged a war or a holy war, a jihad on America. This could not be farthest from the truth. So I want to kind of dispel some of the madness, and I want to look into some of the other things that we need to kind of look into. All right. So 9/11, the unholy war on terrorism. All right. So I'm not going to worry about IG. We'll deal with that a little bit later on. All right. But I do need this phone to put up some stuff that I wanted y'all to see. I was at a co-worker's house today, and we're putting together some things concerning the Oculus film. And I was watching, he had the TV on as it was playing. So I'm watching all of these things that's coming down the pipe dealing with September 11th. And I'm just saying to myself, and everything that's coming up, I'm shaking my head. I'm like, well, that didn't happen that way. That's not the truth of that. Organizations and groups of people and individuals and production people and TV people and other news sources have proven the fact that what they're actually saying is actually a lie about what they've said about the war on terrorism or September 11th. So I ran across some memes in which I want to read real quick. I think I downloaded them onto my phone. And this is just a basic, hold on a second. This is just a basic kind of breakdown of some things. I think I sent it to myself so I wouldn't lose it. You know, sometimes you find something on one of these social media platforms and you have to get it real quick before it's gone. All right. So let me go to, all right, that's correct on there. Okay. Updates. All right. Social note primary. All right. So now Elijah Muhammad taught us that the word holy means something that has not been mixed, diluted, or tampered with. All right. And as usual, we tend to tote the line of the oppressor when it comes to information about everyone else on the planet, including ourselves. We believe the madness that our open enemy has taught us about ourselves. All right. Now, some people said and came on my other YouTube clips on my channel and said I shouldn't refer to all white people as the enemy. I don't do that. I just say our open enemy. Those people that choose to be an enemy to black people, by all means, just be my guests. All right, because if you're actually speaking against us, and when we say against us, we are talking about truth, justice, balance, reciprocity, and order. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says we want to eradicate racism, white supremacy, and replace it with a system of justice. All right. So, with that said, let me go back into my what I kind of found was kind of very, very profound, and I wanted to read some of the things to you. Cancel. Discard, rather. All right. So, all right. There's a meme floating around on social media, and it talks about. Hold on for a second. Three. All right. All right. All right. It talks about, it says 911 for dummies. Right now, if you're listening to the sound of my voice or you're watching this, if you still believe the fake news, if you still believe the series of events, the chronological events that they put on the cover of Time magazine and a myriad of other magazines, they've made specials and put out DVDs and commemorative this and commemorative that. All right. There's a series of questions that I want to ask you. Question number one. Were there 11 to 13 hijackers from Saudi Arabia or Arab countries or the Arab country of Saudi Arabia that hijacked 3 or 4 planes and actually brought down the Twin Towers, including building number 7 and a couple of other things that went down on that day or those few days? Just answer the question for me. All right. I need y'all to answer that real quick. Because there are a serious couple of questions that I need answered. How did 9/11 questions that can't be answered? How did 2 planes make 3 buildings fall? Answer this question. It's just a series of questions that I'm asking. All right. Just some questions that I probably just need to kind of wrap my brain around. You know, as we do this kind of basic, normal kind of studying and understanding of what's being put before us. Every single day is being put before us as truth, but then when we unmask it as a bunch of lies. All right. So let's answer that first question for me. All right. How did 2 planes make 3 buildings fall? All right. Question number 2. Why is there no footage of the plane that hit the Pentagon? All right. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. All right, I'm just in the spirit of trying to work along with our consciousness. I'm trying to work along with the people that are not yet conscious. I'm trying to work along with those Negroes and Negresses that still, when the Pledge of Allegiance is saying, they put their hand over their heart and they start crying goddamn crocodile tears. I'm trying to work with them. So y'all help me out. Why did planes vaporize at the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania? We're talking 4 planes now. Building 1, building 2, the plane that went down in Pennsylvania, and the plane that's supposed to hit the Pentagon. Come on, talk to me. Where are the bodies? Peace. Peace. What's up, Raj? Peace. What's up? Yo, I'm still trying to get through New York, man. Me and Soleil still trying to get there. We're going to make that happen, all right? All right? Where are the bodies? Listen, I'm not disrespecting the flag. I'm not disrespecting those that have served in the military. I'm not disrespecting those peoples and the families that lost their lives during 9/11. I'm not disrespecting the so-called Arabs that got sidelined, hoodwinked, and dragged off to jail. I'm not disrespecting the Mujahideen. I'm not disrespecting al-Qaeda. I'm not disrespecting the Taliban. All right, so everybody that's sitting watching this and y'all got relatives, hell, y'all might got some relatives that's, in the Taliban or the Mujahideen or one of these places or one of these organizations. I don't know. But what I do know is the fact that we need to get to the bottom and answer some of these questions that have been plaguing my brain for 17 years. All right. All right. And I'm sure it's been plaguing your brain. Next question. Why didn't NORAD respond? If you don't know what NORAD is, look NORAD up. NORAD. Why didn't NORAD respond? How come there weren't fighter jets sent out to shoot these planes down? All right, if they were truly attacking America. All right, these are just some basic questions that I'm asking here on September 11th. This is 9/11, the unholy war. 9/11 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism. Just some questions that we're asking right now. All right. How did 3 steel frame buildings collapse for the first time in history on the same day? All right. How did these buildings collapse? All right. Come on, talk to me. These are some basic questions that I'm putting out there. Still waiting for some of these answers, y'all. Why were they running war games during the attack? War games were happening at the same time the buildings were being attacked. All right. These are some basic questions that we're asking. All right. Why couldn't they wait everyone? Why couldn't they wait until everyone was out of the buildings? That's another question we need to ask. Why were Israeli citizens, why were Jews warned prior to the attack? Why were they warned that a text message sent out to Israeli people and Jewish people not to go to work that day? Come on now. You're right, Neil Carr. We need to watch the documentary film Loose Change. All right. All right, who's the gentleman that had the insurance policy there for that particular region, for all of those buildings? All right, for the World Trade Center. All right. These are some questions that we need to ask ourselves. So these are some basic questions that need to be answered. All right. Peace, Queen. How you doing? All right, we're only asking questions now. We're not throwing off on America. We're not throwing off on military. We're not disrespecting the flag. We're not burning the flag. We're not doing all of those things that some Negroes might come on here and accuse us of. We're just asking some basic, fundamental questions that we need some basic, fundamental answers to. All right. Larry Silverstein is his name. You're right, Eric Saywood. What's up, Eric? All right. Who is Larry Silverstein? What is the amount of gold? It's a question I'm just asking off the top of my dome. What is the amount of gold that was under the Twin Tower, all right, at the time? And then what happened to the gold? What happened to the scrap yard that they took all of the scraps from 9/11, the Twin Towers, when they came down? Companies were coming in, hired, all right, to cart all of that metal away. What was the name of the dossier, the thick book, the file that came out a couple of years later concerning 9/11? All right. How come they skewed the facts of what happened 9/11? And I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to keep asking this question again until somebody give me some answers. What happened to the people that were on board? I'm just asking some questions. That's it. Why was everyone responsible promoting instead of fired? Why was everyone responsible for 9/11 promoted instead of fired? Why did 9/11 Commission ignore and omit crucial information and fail to follow up on important leads? Hold on. Downloaded something else I want y'all to see, or I want y'all to hear. Keep in mind that 85%, 87% of the mass shootings are committed by Caucasian males aged 13 to 56, but they are never called terrorists. We're not talking about the average white person right now. We're talking about those that can pull off, all right, the greatest story, second greatest story that's never been told, all right? What agencies were involved that shortly came out in a film by the Norday brothers, all right? Have we went over the film Loose Change with a fine-tooth comb? I did a lecture called 911, the Unholy War on Terror. The 911 is a joke. The Unholy War on Terrorism shortly after it happened. All right. 9/11 Truth for Dummies. Osama bin Laden is not wanted by the FBI for the events of September 11th. All right. And then as you saw, the president that you love so much, love him even more, George Basso. Those are only two of the alphabet boys, all right? CIA and FBI. It goes a lot deeper than that. The question I asked that Jay is answering is, what was the organizations that was responsible for 9/11? All right. Why wasn't Osama bin Laden charged? It says Osama bin Laden is not wanted by the FBI for the events of September 11th, 2001. The reason, according to the FBI's chief investigation publicity, Rex Toon, all right, the FBI has no hard evidence connecting Osama bin Laden to 9/11. This source that I'm reading from is from the FBI themselves, all right? Why was bin Laden's family here in America on the morning of September 11th, and they flew them out on private jets and private planes back to Saudi Arabia? Come on, talk to me. Why is Saudi Arabia and America good friends if Saudi Arabia is behind 9/11? Good question, Christopher Muhammad. Good question. Why is Saudi Arabia and America good friends if Saudi Arabia was behind 9/11? All right. There's just some questions that we're asking. All right. They said his agent name was Tim Osmond. Okay. I never read that information. Please provide some factual evidence to that. All right. These are just questions that we're putting out. All right. Bush was walking around holding hands with the Saudi prince. When did that happen, Sage? We need factual information, all right? I was 18 at the time, bro. Was here in Florida, down in Miami. Well, that's where the flight schools were. Rudy Decker and other people, all right, was involved in this whole thing popping off on 9/11. All right, let's name some of the names and start connecting some of the dots. All right, well, I put some other information in front of you or put it on the table, pardon me. Most Americans believe that their government was not capable. Hold on. Was not capable of attacking its own citizens. However, a declassified plan from 1962 enlisted operations, hold on, this is where it gets thick. Damn. Operation Northwoods, all right? Somebody do some research real quick. Operation Northwoods. All right, there's a book called Operation Northwoods by James Bamford, I believe. All right, I went over it with a study group shortly after these things were occurring, and we dove deep into what happened in Operation Northwoods. What is Operation Northwoods? There's a flight school in Mesa also. All right, Eric. Operation Northwoods, all right, consisted of hijacking American airlines, attacking U.S. military bases, and blowing up U.S. military ships and shooting and terrorizing innocent Americans. Hold on, get into the meat of it. All to be blamed on Cuba and the pretext for a U.S. invasion on Cuba. This plan was rejected by J.F. Kennedy. The source, the Department of Defense. The DOD is saying this now. Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods, they were going to hijack planes and they were going to bomb and attack Americans just to blame it on Cuba. Come on, talk to me, man. As a result of that, the CIA, aspects of the American government, the military, and some other people ended up assassinating JFK, pardon me, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. All right. And then they made several attempts on the life of Fidel Castro. All right. I didn't want to hit that button. Hold on, his phone is doing something. Operation Northwoods. All right. Even if you go today and you go, and I just did a basic search. I put in remembering September 11th. All right, because I wanted to see what all these people were talking about on the History Channel, history.com. It says on September 11th, 2001, 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group al-Qaeda hijacked 4 planes and carried out suicide attacks against targets. How factual and how true is that? I'm just asking the question. All right, before some of y'all write me off as being un-American. Black people, y'all don't even know how un-American you really are. Ask some of these white people, are y'all true Americans, see what they say. We just stopped at Operation Northwoods. We're getting back to that. All right. Can some people, some historians out there, please tell me what happened at Operation, no, not Operation, what happened in the Tonkin Gulf? I wish I was doing this in my library. There's some books I have that I can show y'all straight up. All right, maybe I'll take a break, go back, go and get the books and come back just to show y'all firsthand. All right. On September 11, 2001, 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group al-Qaeda hijacked 4 airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in the United States. 2 of the planes were flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. A 3rd plane hit the Pentagon just outside of Washington, D.C. And the 4th plane crashed in a field in Pennsylvania. Almost 3,000 people were killed during 9/11 terrorist attacks, which triggered a major U.S. initiatives to combat terrorism and define the presidency of George W. Bush. Okay. What if I told you someone had already presented the contingency plan to go ahead and carry out these initiatives prior to 9/11 even happening? What if I say to you, I can show you those documents? What if I told you I could show you the gentleman that presented, or the people that presented those documents? What if I told you I could present to you the documentation, the visual documentation? All right? To show and prove what they're actually saying is an absolute bold-faced lie. All right? Because the next question I have, just off the top of my head, weapons of mass destruction. They use that as a pretext to go and invade Iraq. All right? Not Iraq, Iraq. All right? Where 1 million people were slaughtered, murdered, bombed, burned to death. All right? So what happened to weapons of mass destruction? What did Saddam Hussein have to do with 9/11? Well, it's supposed to have been, hold on, let me read it to you again. 19 militants associated with the Islamic extremist group al-Qaeda. What is al-Qaeda? Just questions I'm asking. Al-Qaeda was a computer program that they were developing. And the CIA decided to use that as the name of a terrorist organization. There was no such thing as al-Qaeda. Excuse me, I hear what you said. All right, help me out, y'all. Please help me out. Let me go back to this live feed on YouTube. Someone said 10 years. They murdered him. Someone mentioned Bill Cooper. H. Lecture 426 mentioned Bill Cooper. What is the name of Bill Cooper's book so everyone could know? All right. Behold a Pale Horse, where Bill Cooper predicted 9/11. All right. Mesmerized by Amy 1, al-Qaeda is Cobra. Lee Charles Osama was trained by the CIA, correct? Correct. Who are the Mujahideen? And who were the Mujahideen trained by? Bill Cooper's, the name of his book is Behold the Pale Horse. Jassi, thank you. All right. Bill Cooper, Jassi says, was also taken out because he predicted 9/11. All right. Get the book, Behold the Pale Horse. All right. Come on. These are some questions that we're just conversing. We're not making assumptions, assertions, any of these things. We're just asking some basic questions right now. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, all right, click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you can get some notifications, all right, about when we're going live and we have shows like this where we can ask critical questions to one another and we can come up with some serious answers. By the way, today's program is sponsored by my good brother who produced this film, Black Friday. Go check the film out, man. All right. Leaving a legacy. All right. My man, Rick Mathis. Peace. Rick. So listen, we asking some very critical questions right now. And as it would happen, I'm going to show you all living proof, man. They tying my phone up, man. It's been on the blink. Ever since I started asking, I keep hitting cancel. I'm going to show y'all. I keep hitting cancel. It ain't doing nothing. I'm going to have to shut it down. Reboot it. Young people don't ever stop, man. And I don't want y'all to think they stop. They work in shifts. So when we retire and we go to sleep and we go to rest, you understand what I'm saying? To get neutralized. I mean, get nourished, rather. They're hard at work. Another shift of them. Come on. So while you sleep, they're always at work. All right. It's critical. Yeah. So we have to understand this particular dynamic. All right. 911 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism. George Bush used this as a pretext. All right. Use it as a pretext to go into Iraq. All right. What was the rift between Iraq and Iran? All right. If terrorists want to destroy America, America would have been nothing but rubble right now. Dwayne Ross. Yeah, they work in quadruple overtime. Eric Sayward says Marvin Bush was on the board of directors for the security company that the trade center contract expired September 10th. Wow. Woo, somebody give me some documentary films. All right. So we can start showing, proving to some people that are doubtful right now. What are some of those documentary films that are out there? Ever since 9/11, my faith in this country has not been the same. All right, Jay, I hear you. Why is Satan's hands, Zionist Jews' hand, always hard to see for black folks? I'm not sure, Christopher, Muhammad, not sure. Maybe somebody would like to come on and answer that question. Andre Wooden says money, 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 money. That's what Andre Wooden is saying. It's about the money. All right. So when is the world war on terrorism ever going to end? Is there an end to the war on terrorism? All right. 9/11 in plain sight. 9/11 in plain sight. ThriveMovement.com. The ThriveMovement.com. All right. DX Muhammad says, where are the airplane parts? Especially the one that hit the Pentagon and the one that landed in Pennsylvania or crashed in Pennsylvania. Where are the airplane parts? All right. We're just asking some basic questions and we're just putting this information out there. All right, Professor Griff, what caused the 9/11 jumpers to take off their clothes before jumping out of the towers? Good question. Good question. So it was hot enough to burn the planes, but it's not hot enough to burn human flesh. If the towers were on fire like that, come on, talk to me. Eric Sayward said the architects and engineers for 9/11. Who were they? There is no end because we know all the enemies to the U.S. are government manufactured. Wow. Dwayne Ross. We need 1 million S-1Ws. This is what's been remote control planes. Talk to me, Andre. Andre said the planes were being controlled by remote control. What happened to the people? What happened to the passengers is the question that we have to answer. All right. What happened to the passengers? I'm sure just like y'all, if you're getting off work or you still at work or you took off today or you home today or you went out to put your hand over the heart because the flag was flying at half mast. All right. And you crying crocodile tears for America. Where are the 300 bodies, 3,000 bodies? All right. Andrew Goins said, what happened to Navy SEAL Team 6 and their helicopter explosion? Who was Navy SEAL Team 6? Andrew, talk to us. Who was Navy SEAL Team 6? All right. The Twin Towers fell inwardly on itself, definitely a controlled demolition. The Twin Towers was a controlled demolition, B.P. Thomas Trucking says. All right. So we have to ask some serious questions as we've been asking to come up with some serious answers. Because right now, All right, there's ceremonies that are going on national TV all across this country. All right. Someone said, if you do the math, the numbers are correct. The U.S. emergency number is 9/11. How come the Simpsons predicted 9/11, someone said? How did the Simpsons predict 9/11? All right. DVD, Martial Law, 911, The Rise of the Police State by Alex Jones. James Muhammad says, the DVD, Martial Law, 9/11, The Rise of Police State by Alex Jones. Emergency number for U.S. is 9/11. All right. I don't care what happened on 9/11, Big Al said. All right. This is one of those kind of situations where we just asking questions and the people are speaking. All right. This is not coming from Professor Griff. All right. The original planes were landed elsewhere. Okay. Where were they landed and what happened to the people? So if the original planes landed elsewhere, right? In 99, the military put on an article about the hieroglyphic technology being usable in 2025. They're willing to tell us to take da. All right, hologram technology. All right, and so did the royal family with da. Okay, Long Kiss Goodnight. The movie predicted this. 99% of all people didn't know this. Check out the movie A Long Kiss Goodnight, Pierre Elliott said. And 9/11 is also an astronomical signal too. Okay, Jessica, I got you. You got to give us some more information on that, Jessica Abraham, pardon me. All right. Big Al said, don't you get it? Don't we get what, Big Al? Project Bluebeam is real. We understand that Project Bluebeam is real. All right. All right. So it finally freed me up. All right. Next, World Trade Center number 7 was the third building and was completely destroyed on September 11th, but it was never hit by an airplane. This was a 47-story building, government building that was taller than any building in San Diego, California. This was the first, last, and only time in history that a steel frame building has ever collapsed due to fire on September 11th. 3 did. The source, CNN. All right. 47-story building collapsed just because it was on fire. I heard there was a fake emergency call. There were people in the building, Griff. Mike Scott said there were people in the building. Yes, there were people in the building. No one's denying that, Scott, Michael Scott. We're not denying that. What happened to the people that were on the planes, Michael Scott? All right. My friend was at the top of the executive in D Bank. She said it crashed, but all they told to do was evacuate. All they were told to do was evacuate. Okay. Who's on camera saying they're going to pull it? Oh, Giuliani was on camera saying they're going to pull it on Building 7. Wow, Lee Charles. That's critical. I confirmed that World Trade Center 7 was never hit. No, you're right, Pierre Elliott. It was never hit. All right. Now, Big Al, we don't know who you are, but let them burn the ash. I'm not sure. He says, Allahu Akbar. Okay, we got that, bro. We don't want to espouse whatever it is that you're trying to espouse. We're trying to get to facts, man. Let's not get emotional. Let's not be immature children and call names. Let's deal with the facts, all right? All right, Pierre says it never crashed. Okay. Peace, Professor Griff. It is true that there were certain individuals that was off that day. Certain individuals, all right, there's a list that's being circulated on documentary films that the text message that was sent out to Israelis and Jewish people on that day, they got the message not to come to work. All right. A small building collapsed for no reason. Plus, they heard bombs going off. All right. Getting a lot of interference. People jumping out of windows. All right. People jumping to their death. All right. This is the chaotic stuff that was going on 9/11. But if you look at 9/11, 17 years later today, and you look at TV, all right, and not know the truth, you would think that the 19 people that died, the 19 people that were supposedly Islamic terrorists, all right, that brought down the Twin Towers, that crashed the plane in Pennsylvania and ran the plane into the Pentagon, all right, you would think America would go to war with Saudi Arabia instead of Iraq, instead of Yemen, instead of Gaddafi in Libya, instead of Egypt, instead of all these places, instead of trying to round up Muslims in America, you would think America would wage a war against Saudi Arabia. Whoa. Nope, not the case. My backdrop just fell. Well, we're going to leave it. All right. But let's understand that dynamic. All right. So let's understand. You would think they would go to war with Saudi Arabia. Nope. No war with Saudi Arabia. Not at all. Never wanted to go to war with Saudi Arabia. Never went to war with Saudi Arabia. All right. Instead, launched a war on terrorism and waged that war against not only the American people, but they waged that war against darker skinned people on the planet. If you look at the places that they've invaded and bombs that they've dropped, all right, on the individual countries since then, under the guise of the war on terrorism. All right. Pierre Elliott said Osama's family was flown out the day of the World Trade Center bombing or collapse. Lewis Clark, we do not have to use that name. You can call me Griff. What do you think? Thank you. What do you think about language and words? Lewis, we're not talking about that right now. Whoever you are. All right. So all we're doing now is asking some questions. I didn't want to, that's why I had my backdrop up. It was fly. It said serious minds, but now that it fell, y'all seen what the whole damn room looked like. For real. Anyway, this tells. Okay, brother Ben X, I got a notification from his YouTube channel. It says Minister Farrakhan tells the truth about 9/11.
Now we know now that the crime that they say is at the root of terrorism was not committed by Arabs or Muslims at all. What did you say, Farrakhan? Over 2,300 of America's trained architects and engineers.
I'm gonna let y'all listen to this while I go get these books. All right, I'll be right back.
For a new investigation of 9/11. But what is 9/11? Some of you don't even know what 9/11 is.
Listen to the minister. I'll be right back.
And that's really bad. 9/11 was the destruction of the World Trade Towers. Does it ring a bell now? They say that the World Trade Center buildings were brought down by carefully placed explosives, not by planes. They say that all three buildings had to have been wired with explosive charges long before September the 11th. And this is something that took tremendous sophistication to do, and that sophistication was not with Osama bin Laden or his followers. Listen. But if it was not Muslims, then who? Thanks to the exemplary work of scholars like Victor Thorne and Christopher Boland, It is now becoming apparent that there were many Israelis and Zionist Jews in key roles in the 9/11 attacks. Now look, if they can prove me wrong, like I said, I'll pay with my life. Since they want to kill me anyway, prove me wrong. We're dealing with thieves and liars and murderers. Listen to this. We know that many Israelis were arrested immediately after the attacks, but quickly released and sent to Israel. We know that the World Trade Center building was insured by its owner, Larry Silverstein, right before the attack. And in the insurance clause, there was a clause that if the building were damaged by terrorist acts, Mr. Silverstein would get paid. And guess what? Mr. Silverstein got $4.8 billion. We know that an Israeli film crew dressed as Arabs were filming the Twin Towers before the first plane went in. In other words, these Israelis had foreknowledge of the attacks. Now look, you say, but planes went in to these towers. Yes, they did. But do you know what kind of technology you have to have as a pilot to fly a plane and drop down to an altitude and turn at an angle at 400 or 500 miles an hour into a building? And the fuel of an airplane is not strong enough to create enough heat to melt the steel structure of that building.
All right. Lewis,
we know that many
the one
Jews
clock. You are killing me, bro.
Message
seriously.
Not to come to work on September 11th.
That's right.
Who sent that message that kept them from showing up? Within minutes of the attacks, Ehud Barak, the founder and master of the Israeli military's covert operation force, was in a London studio of the BBC blaming Osama bin Laden and calling for a war on terror. And we know that Benjamin Netanyahu told an audience in Israel, we are benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq. He added that these catastrophes and wars would swing the American public opinion in the favor of Israel.
Mm.
Why won't America investigate what these scholars and scientists have uncovered about 9/11 and who was really behind it? It now appears that 9/11 was a false flag operation, which is an attack by one country, but made to appear like the attack came from another in order to start a war between them. Is this what friendship is? Assalamu alaikum, family, and welcome back to the Brother Ben X Show. We are back with another BBX News video today. We got a very funny video, actually. This video is of a white man who is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he tried to get the Oscar award, but he failed horribly. He either failed horribly, he's either a very bad actor, or this person hit him with the death fingers. I mean, his fingers have to be made of steel. He has to have some kind of God force power in his fingers to make somebody hurt that bad off of just a touch. Check out what I'm talking about right here.
And this, people, is what a pervert looks like. Taking pictures of people in fucking public.
All right. Thanks, Brother Ben X. Really appreciate that. That Mr. Farrakhan clip. All right. So, yeah, just got a bit of bad news. I'll let y'all know in a minute. I don't want to. Anyway. It says, but they make money. Has to be feared to keep submissive. Okay, George Bush is a murderer. They create the illusion. All right, anyway. I couldn't find one of the books that I want, and is it over here? Yeah, you know, I bring certain books up in the studio when I'm like making music, so I kind of have some book. But anyway, this book is Terrorism and War by Howard Zinn. Terrorism and War by Howard Zinn. There's a book that I wanted y'all to actually see the cover. And what I'm going to do on the app that I'm developing, I'm going to have a section probably on tier 1, the first tier, where there is a book of the week and there's bullet points for that book, all right, of the week. All right. And then on the app, there's going to be a book list of the top 25 books that you need to get in order to have knowledge of self. All right. And all this is going to be on the app. All right. All right. So, Terrorism and War by Howard Zinn. There's another book, None Dare Call It Conspiracy. Can somebody give me the author? Something happened when I went to go get the books, and I got to go tend to that right now. All right. None Dare Call It Conspiracy. James Allen? No, I don't want to say James Allen. Somebody give me the title, please, so I can get that correct. All right. So I need to get None Dare Call It Conspiracy. But in the meantime, I need y'all to read Jim Mars's book. This book has survived a lot, man. This book is about to buckle. Gary who? Black design issues technology. All right. None Dare Call It Conspiracy. All right. But this book, Ruled by Secrecy by Jim Mars, the hidden history that connects the Trilateral Commission, Freemasons, and the Great Pyramids. All right. Ruled by Secrecy. Jim Mars. Look him up on YouTube. All right. Jim Mars. All right. And this is the one, this next book I need y'all to, Gary Allen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. None Dare Call It Conspiracy by Gary Allen. Mesmerized by Amy 1. Thank you, Amy. All right, Gary Allen. Thank you, Sister Love. I really appreciate that. All right, so this one, I know I need y'all to sit tight, seriously, and really pay attention to, okay? Write it down. do whatever you got to do. But I took this book with me when they tried to hem me up. Let me give you the radio station because I don't want y'all to think I'm putting y'all on. They invited me to a white radio station to talk about racism, to talk about terrorism, to talk about a few other isms. And I came armed. And this is one of the books I brought with me because it's a very factual book, because it's, let me tell y'all the name of the book and show y'all. The Terror Timeline. All right. Year by year, day by day, minute by minute, a comprehensive chronicle of the road to 9/11 and America's response. Paul Thompson. All right. At the Center for Cooperative Research, forward by Peter Lance. All right, the Terror Timeline. If you can get this book, all right, the Terror Timeline. So I went prepared, ready to get it on, for real. And as you can see, my bookmark is still there. And this is what I was dealing with that day. I mean, I went in and went off. All right. April to May 2001. Bush Cheney received numerous al-Qaeda warnings. I'm not going to read the whole thing. April 18th, 01. FAA warns airlines about Middle Eastern hijackers. April 24th, 01. U.S. military plan for terrorist attack against Americans. Okay, and it gives you the day by day, the minute by minute. All right, Paul Thompson, the Terror Timeline, minute by minute. I mean, it is detailed. I mean, it is really detailed. But this is the kind of information I want to be able to give in the classes that we need to have, all right? But it's too much and it's too critical and too deep to have on social media because all they're gonna do is shut my page down. You already know that. This is the reason why I'm creating the app. So when the app is actually created, I'm saying, listen, I'm giving a class on so-and-so and so-and-so. If y'all like to sign up, make sure you pay the $1.99 for the app so you'll have the app. The class is gonna cost X, Y, and Z. Plain and simple, and I'll be able to kind of talk to you directly from me through the app right to your phone. All right. So we'll be able to go over the finer details, all right, of this kind of stuff. All right. And keep in mind, we Black people, we're not writing this kind of stuff. They're writing this kind of stuff, all right, about themselves. All right. So hashtag Jim Mars, hashtag for life, rest in power. All right. Burnt offerings, hell equals Holocaust. Wow. Okay. Same as Pearl Harbor. I'm just reading some of the stuff over here on YouTube Live. I remember Griff went all the way into depth breaking down 9/11 conspiracy. Yeah, that lecture was called 9/11 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism. All right. So, just asking the few questions that we're asking today, you don't want to get to the point where you make them people too upset where they come and shut the whole page down, which okay. All right. Hold on. Let me get back to what I was reading. Hold on. All right, here we go. We're going to read a couple of these and we're going to sum this up, all right, because I don't want to be on it too long. It says a put option is a financial bet that a stock will take or will fail and lose tremendous value, all right? On the days just prior to 9/11, the put option placed on United Airlines were 285 times higher than the average. All right. On September 10th, 2001, the put options placed on American Airlines were 60 times greater than on average. United and American were the only two airlines involved in 9/11. Source, CBS and Associated Press. All right. Two more. Two of the alleged 19 hijackers lived in the same house with the FBI agent in San Diego, California. Also, according to the Pentagon officials, 5 of the alleged hijackers were trained at a secure U.S. military bases in Florida. Source, CBS and MSNBC. Last one. George W. Bush's cousin, W.D. Walker III, and brother Marvin P. Bush were, acting chairman and director of Stratasec Inc., a multinational security company, which was in charge of the World Trade Center, United Airlines, and Dulles International Airport. All 3 of these secure locations were breached on 9/11. The source is SEC. All right, you can go to truther.org, truther.org. All links to hard sources are available at truther.org. All right. This is 9/11 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism. Basic questions basic questions that people should provide basic answers to, and we are actually coming up short. When I did the lecture, 9/11 is a joke, the unholy war on terrorism, back then in 2001, I got no pushback. No pushback. And the information went out, the DVD went out. I believe I had not a cassette, but a VHS tape of it. There was information that we were putting out, no pushback. The Norday brothers and a few other people came shortly after that with documented proof of these things that we were talking about during that period of time. I don't believe I had my hands on this book yet, because I don't think this book was even out then. I think this book came out afterwards. But some of the information that we had that's in this book, we had our hands on. All right. At that time, I did the lecture on using transparencies. All right. So you know it was an old lecture. I did it at the Hall of Ma'at in Decatur, Georgia. All right. And I was showing, I had 200 transparencies. And I showed and proved without a shadow of a doubt that this was a false flag. All right. This was the United States government, along with Israel and a couple of other the alphabet boys that pulled this off. And of course, some insiders. All right. What you heard today from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is absolutely true, because there's people like this, Jim Mars and other people, the Norday brothers and other people that have created films about this that back them up. All right. This is why your man Liar Cohen said Professor Griff went nuts and lost his mind. Because when you start preventing the truth, I remember the Detroit Khalid El Hakim. You're right, Khalid, you remember, because that's when I met you. I came to Detroit, man, and laid it out. Khalid, to tell you, man, I was going in, because we had information from an inside source that this 9/11 thing was not what they said it was, man. It says, yo, Griff, much respect. Create some shirts and hats with you saying, all right, you following me? So, okay. I got that. That's coming, man. But I got to put you following me on the back. All right. Khalid said I did a lecture in 4 hours in a hot ass room. Yeah, bro, I don't do them 4-hour lectures no more. That lecture was long as hell, man. We had to take 2 breaks. go get food and dinner and come back because of the amount of information. All right. Yeah, that's when people sat in 4-hour lectures. So, but now it's vastly different now. But anyway, I just wanted to present this today, all right, to offset some of the madness and some of the propaganda that you're hearing on the Alphabet Boys, on MSNBC, on HLN and CNN and all. And you know some of the people that's manipulating, controlling, and that sit above in the president's seat or director of the so-and-so of the toilet tissue brigade on some of these Alphabet Boy stations, you know they're going to follow through, all right, and keep with the propaganda. They're not going to break from the script and tell you the truth. It's going to take us to get this kind of information and present the truth, all right, and not dare to be on the front lines. We have to be on the front lines because we have to present the truth, all right. So that's all I have for today. A lot of times I just turn on the camera and come with the spirit of it. There's about 4 or 5 more books I could have pulled from the library to show you where you should be as far as your information. Rinse.com. And this is some of the sites I'm going to put on the app where you're going to have access to these sites that you need to go to daily. Educateyourself.org. Educateyourself.org. Rinse.com. Whatreallyhappened.com. I know y'all think I'm making this stuff up. Go to whatreallyhappened.com. All right. Beforeitwasnews.com. These sites sound really simplistic, you know, but sometimes they just need to be. All right. They just need to be. Whatreallyhappened.com. All right. Now, a lot of times, man, these people got to switch up and make mirror sites and that kind of thing. Marcus Klein, what's up? I showed one of your videos to 8th grade class today. They have some intrinsic questions. All right, maybe I need to come visit your class, and maybe we need to kind of have them talk to me face to face. All right. Wow, I just pulled up whatreallyhappened.com and it says, Dear Apple iPhone user, today, September 11th, 2018, congratulations, iPhone user. You are one of 10 users we have selected in Georgia to claim $1,000 Amazon gift card. No. Because as soon as you click it, they're going to drop them damn cookies down in your phone and they're going to, beforeitwasnews.com. You're right. Jessica, we got to understand something. Every site that you go to is not going to have 1000% correct info. You have to do this thing that I call cross-referencing. So if I see something on Before It Was News and I compare it and cross-reference it with something else, don't ever go to one site and believe what you read and see. Cross-reference it. All right? No, I don't want to continue. Nope. YouTube survey. I don't want to take a YouTube survey. Get me out of here. I just want to go to the site that I wanted to go to. See, I will show you. It won't even let me go. They want me to take a YouTube survey. I don't want to take a YouTube survey. How often do you visit YouTube? Okay, I'm going to just give them any old answer. What content do you most often? I'll give them any answer. Are you the advertisements you see? Are the advertisements you see on YouTube relevant to your interests? What do you think of the advertisements you see on YouTube? Irritating as hell. Thank you. Can I move on to the next thing? You see, this is what we're talking about. Right, I got you. But there is probably a majority satire there than truth. Oh, okay, thanks for the information. Really appreciate that. Claim. Now, once you claim the $1,000 gift certificate for Walmart, they want you to give them your information. No, you already got my information, so just send it to me. What the hell? How many items do you want to buy? I don't know. I'm not going to buy some underwear and some goddamn socks and a vegan toothpick. Shit, what the hell? Boy, 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 boy. If y'all wasn't seeing this real time. All right, I'm trying to pull up a site so I could show y'all. You gotta be able to develop this formula, Jessica. You gotta cross-reference. I don't trust one set of these people over them other people because I don't really know what their agenda is. You understand what I'm saying? Shopping information required. Complete your shipping information. No, you're not getting my name. You don't need my address. None of that. All right. Anyway, I hope y'all gained something from this. All right. My class is at Let me pull up the information so I can give y'all real-time information. Second week in October, we're going to be talking about symbolic thought. All right, I'm going to launch the app on the 8th. All right, I believe it's the 11th of October. We're actually going to do the class on symbolic thought. All right, all of these symbols, and contacting some people and doing some deeper research. All these apps that you have on your phone act as modern day hieroglyphs. All right. So we have to understand, once you put an app on your phone, click it, now it becomes that way, that channel, that avenue, that path, all right, that's connected direct to your consciousness or your unconsciousness. So we have to understand it. So we're going to talk about symbolic thought. You see symbols behind me. You see symbols all throughout the room. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to understand symbolic thought, though. All right. So I really need y'all to sign up for the class. The class is $35 if y'all come now. All right. If you've ever taken a class of mine, of course, it's $25 for you. If you want the early bird special, it's $25. Give me a call at 678-557-2919 or just text me right here. All right. If you want to sign up for the class, go to www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp. All right. PayPal.me, Professor Griff Corp. All right. Go to my website, www.professorgriff.me. If you want to sign up for the class, I'm going to put it up there tonight so y'all can sign up. All right. I'm doing another Facebook live tonight to advertise the class. So I want to see y'all on there. All right. We have to archive this kind of stuff. All right. Because I'm telling you, everything is being digitized. When they press the button, one little bleep is going to bleep away all of this stuff. Trust me. Or they'll just lock us out of it. If you ain't got the right code word, the password, the right chip in the hand or in your forehead. All right. All right, cool. Today, this has been brought to you by Black Friday. All right. Leaving a legacy. My man, Rick Mathis. Shout out to Rick Mathis. And of course, all right, the olive leaf extract. My man, DJ. All right. Go to Herbal Results, man. myoliveleaf.biz. myoliveleaf.biz and pick up, all right, olive leaf extract. All right. Once again, brothers and sisters, this is Professor Griff. All right. Revolution is not an event. It's a process, man. We need to understand that. All right. So let's get this information out to our people. I'm going to go back online and I'm going to see who else is talking about 9/11, because a lot of times, you know, people won't talk about this because it actually puts your channel in jeopardy. All right. For speaking of against what the vast majority of white people in America are rah-ing for. The Eric Saywoods are not going for it. The Dean Ingmans may not be going for it. All right. So, yeah. But y'all got to understand something. If it wasn't for the Alex Joneses of the world and Jordan Maxwell's and Michael Tessarians and David Icke and some of these people, them people on the other side of the fence wouldn't have that degree of consciousness. All right. We have to be able to start forming allies with certain people, because listen, if y'all claim, some of y'all do, some of y'all don't, claim that these people got us into this situation, well, it's going to take some of them to help us get out of this situation. Are you following me? We need allies in this to bring us information. I don't know Paul Thompson or Peter Lance, but I got to use their material. You understand what I'm saying? To help fight this intellectual battle. That's all I'm saying to y'all. This Professor Griffith, Serious Minds. I love y'all to life. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. This is Serious Minds for serious minds. Seriously. Peace. I'm out. Chauncey, peace. Tim Whitfield, peace. All right. Chance Rogers, step. James Simmons, peace. Lee Charles, deuces. All right. Peace, McFly. Derpy McFly, okay. Nero Diamante, peace. All right. Doc the Professor, peace. All right. The Black Zionist, peace. All right. DJ Abdul Jabbar, peace. What's good? Master M, deuces. All right. I can't say peace to everybody. Peace, Monique. Indeed. Got you. All right. It's Professor Griff. I'm out, man. Shifty Lee. Peace. All right. I'm out. In the meeting.